Now, let's speak now to Jonathan DeCarteret. He's the founder of postswitch.com, an independent postal broker, and joins us from our central London studio. I don't want to seem a real idiot, but what is an independent postal broker?
Essentially what we do is look at our clients who mail many millions of items per year, and we look at the whole marketplace, all the rival operators that compete with Royal Mail, and we advise our clients whether it's the best thing to do to switch their budget across to people like City Post, TNT, DHL.
Right. At the moment, though, if you're talking parcels, there are alternatives. If you're talking mail delivered to the door, there aren't really, are there?
I mean, this really is the key point that we as consultants need to understand, is that when we switch mail away from Royal Mail to Royal Mail's rivals, essentially what they do at the end of the day is hand that over to a postman to access the final mile and have a Royal Mail postman deliver it. It's something like 99.7% of all mail is still delivered by a Royal Mail postman. So the problem is that even when we switch mail away, it's still Royal Mail, so when there are delays with Royal Mail, the rival operators still incur those delays.
Right. So that's what people mean by, because we keep hearing this phrase, the final mile. So that the only people, so DHL, whoever, might deliver it to a local sorting office or whatever, but it will be the Royal Mail people who will do that final delivery.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, to put that into context, Royal Mail deliver something like 20 billion items of post per year. And so what we find as consultants in the marketplace is that even though there are 20 to 30 rival operators who compete with Royal Mail, the real kind of problem is that they are dependent upon Royal Mail. So effectively, national strikes affect everybody, and there is no solution of getting away from those strike delays.
And do you think that any of these operators that you've been talking about will now do serious feasibility studies about whether they could do final mile delivery, or, as we heard, I think in one of the reports a little earlier, that there'd have to be a change in the regulatory framework before that could happen?
Sure. Well, TNT seem to be the front runners in providing a kind of alternative national network to Royal Mail. But to put things very clearly, Royal Mail employ 160,000 people. In order to compete and to provide a secondary level of delivery network is kind of economically unnecessary and unfeasible. And so at the moment, really, all we're really concentrating on is Royal Mail's network.
OK, Jonathan DeCarteret from postswitch.com. Very interesting to talk to you. Thanks very much for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Let's just bring you some